Alright. Hello? Alright, hang on, I've got my... Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go. We are back with Final Fantasy XII. Howdy everybody. I am doing my, I'm remixing the introduction, just doing it in random order now. Last we left off with Final Fantasy XII. We showed up in the we showed up at the Vieira's village. We knocked down their door and entered in and asked for permission to go through the jungle to get to the other side of the jungle, and we can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a Franz Vieira friend who is in the Henne Mines, and that's south of Osmone Plain. I did a little bit of grinding. I only got it at just a couple levels worth, so it's fine. It's fine. I don't have a problem. But we did a little bit of grinding, got a couple licenses, and I think I upgraded everyone's equipment. And I checked to make sure I didn't. Yeah. They have Vaughn's got Mangosh, I think is how you'd pronounce it. He's got the Mangosh, and like updated mage's equipment. We've got mage's equipment for all of our magic users, and the one person who's not using mage equipment, that being Balthier, has updated armor. Funnily enough, there's shielded armor available right now, which gives permanent protect as long as you've got it equipped, which I think is pretty neat. But yeah, for now we're just gonna head straight over to the mines. Mines Part 2, and basically crack through those. We're just gonna dip through the jungle real quick. Make this quick. What I did for grinding was I basically yeah, I don't want to fight do not want to fight those things. Bosch, I'm gonna need you to use a golden needle on you real quick. I guess we'll clear these guys up. Nope, never mind. They're not. They don't want to stick around. This is getting confusing. Oh shit! Ashe got fucking frozen. Hang on. Alright, I guess trying to sprint past the cats doesn't work. I wasn't trying to do that. But anyway, what I did for grinding is that I found a little area where all of those panthers, the panthers kept spawning, and one thing they drop is a quirl. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that because it's not really a word, but they drop pelts, and those pelts sell for like 400 something gil, and they actually drop them pretty frequently. So as a result, that actually was a pretty efficient way to get more money. Which was actually the main thing I wanted to do so that I could upgrade all of my equipment. God damn. Yeah, Bosch does a fuck ton of damage now. Just to let you know, because I think I also picked up some licenses, and I picked up some... I think I picked up some magic lures that he didn't have before. Yeah, these. Or like a couple of these. So now he does hilarious amounts of damage with the katanas. We're starting to realize our little power fantasy with the classes, I think. Look at that, 500 damage. Once we get a little swiftness in him, he'll be a killing machine. I was really surprised when I found out that armor wasn't that big of a deal in this game. It's valuable. You need to keep up with your armor to make sure your characters don't take too much damage. But the main thing, like, as I said, the main thing determining their, like, vulnerability is actually it's not so much their armor as it is their health pools. So you need to get those. Health. Yeah, okay, we're headed down there. You need to get those things that allow you to heal, pretty readily. not allow you to heal. You need to get those. I don't. It's the start of stream fucking mouth salad again. You need to get things that increase your health pool if you really want to be able to take hits. Because like having a high health pool and then keeping that health pool up through healing is a lot more important than you'd expect. The Bokobo over there. I think I saw like a spare chocobo around this area once. Let me check again. I feel like if I recall correctly. Oh yeah. No, this is your guys' chocobo. Never mind. I wasn't entirely certain because it's been a while since I got to this point. I got to this point in the game like last time I was going through. I was doing a playthrough of it, but that was a while back, and I don't remember all the details. But I remember from playing that when you have a chocobo and you see the little trails, like the little footprints, that means there's a little area over here that you can take a chocobo through that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to. I think that's how that works. I'm not sure. The Final Fantasy games that have chocobos usually use them in like one of two ways. Like Jesus. One thing. Is this just a thing Bosch does now? Does he just get sick combos all the time? Holy shit. But one thing some of the Final Fantasies up until 9, basically the way they worked is that they had a big overworld, like zoomed out screen where you would run across a whole continent. Like your character would be like this little figure running on essentially a map, like a big zoomed out continent. And they would run around, and that's how you would go from place to place. And then when you actually entered a location, like this is a dungeon or this is a town or something like that, once you got there, you would that would give you once you went in there, it would zoom in, and then you would explore that location with like actual proper proportions and all that. So there would basically be two separate states, and usually when you had a chocobo in those games, it was just for like faster movement on the overworld. Whereas in the newer Final Fantasies, like 10 and 12 in particular, generally, like, when you get a chocobo, it lets you explore, like, just the area, because the games don't separate between the overworld and, like, the dungeons and the towns and such. Everything's just part of one cohesive world, because that's just kind of how they just can do that now with the technology. So as a result, chocobos, like, since they run around in the overworld, one thing they do now is that they give you access to, like, new areas that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. So in Final Fantasy X, if you're riding around on a chocobo, you'd see just running around, like, this little chocobo feather just sitting somewhere. And then if you interacted with a chocobo feather, the chocobo would just kind of jump up and down, like, some platforms and probably take you to, like, a treasure chest or something. In this game, I think it's kind of the same principle, except it's chocobo prints instead of feathers. So the chocobo takes you somewhere that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. That's the only way I can think of to get. Because if you look at the map here, you'll notice that there's a bit of a gap between the sections of land right there on the bottom right corner. So we can't access that by foot currently, but we may be able to in the future. I think we have to go to Jahara and pick up a chocobo there. I think that's what we're going to do. In we go. When I first played Final Fantasy XII, it was kind of interesting because the people I went to that had there were some family members that I would always play Final Fantasy like 10 or 12 whenever I went over to their place because they were the only people I knew that had a PS2. And you know how it is when you're a kid, like it's like you have one console, you can't really you can't really go to you can't really go anywhere else to get like get a console just to get a console because you know you're a kid and you're kind of dependent on your parents in order to get you're dependent on your parents in order to get access to like video games and video game consoles. And you know half the time when you tell your parents like, yeah, I really want this thing and it costs like a couple $100, your parents are like, why? Why can't you just like some why can't you like toys like a normal child? I didn't have shit like this when I was a kid, and you're like, but all the other kids have it, stuff like that. Or like it's especially worse if you're like if you've got a it's especially worse if you've already got a game console and it's like, but I want this other game console to play this game, and they're like, you've already got one, come on. Yeah, as you can see, that chocobo path took us right here where I wanted to see. Okay, so this is where we're supposed to be going. I kind of want to go check out that other place that we saw earlier. See if there's anything else around the plains that we can get to with the chocobo. I love that they remix the chocobo theme every Final Fantasy. It's such a fun little thing. It's really interesting how Final Fantasy just kind of has it's got a really unique structure compared to other games, just because it's like you've got that whole because they're the only game series I can think of. I guess there's other JRPGs that also do it, but I think Final Fantasy is the only game series I can really think of where they have like a different world each main series game, and they don't they have a main world every main series games. They have a different world, but they don't really they keep some features like chocobos or like the names of the spells or like some of the mechanics or the concept of espers and things like that. But because they remix everything around, everything's like tangentially related, and they still got like a whole thing. Sorry, I feel like I've noticed something about myself every time I stream, like morning or noonish. I'm always really slow in the brain when I start, and then I wake up progressively as the stream goes on. I haven't digested my breakfast yet, so I'll be alive in just give me like 20 minutes maybe. Right now I'm just gonna be stumbling and grumbling. Henne Mines. Gotta work in the pasta mines for my Italian overlords. So from here on out, I think my memory of the game's gonna get really tenuous. I've done the opening bits of this game like 3 or 4 times now. But I've only done like everything after Osmone Jungle like once. And then once we get to the, I think once we get to the Salika Wood, then it's gonna be complete. It's gonna be a complete blank in my brain. I'm gonna have no idea. It'll be all new. I kind of know where we're going. I think I know what the final boss is in this game, but everything leading up to that, just no clue. So it'll be essentially a fresh like blind playthrough after that. Yeah, there's a bit of there's like a gate system in this game where in this mines, this specific dungeon, where you press a button and that switches some of the gates around, I think is how this works. Yeah, you see. Blue and red. Or separation. Ooh. Also, great news, we're back to killing bats. I knew you were all looking forward to that. I certainly was. Ooh, advisory. Information. For immediate distribution and posting, the color of the switchboard phosphor corresponds with the gates currently closed. Accordingly, use of the switchboard opens gates of the color presently illuminated. Note your desired route and open such gates as it requires. It follows that one cannot open red and blue gates simultaneously. As gates throughout the mine are linked, do verify your route in advance. Workers' Weekly Wisdom. No accidents, no injuries, no worries. It has been 3 days since the last workplace accident. Imperial Army, Officiary of Resources. Excellent. I have no idea why you would... I have no idea why you would do that. Like, why you would set up your gate system to be like that, but whatever. You okay, buddy? I managed to escape. I don't know how, but I did. You must be careful. The mines, they're not safe. How could we have known? I mean, mines in general are dangerous, aren't they? Got, like, cave-ins and such. Noxious vapors and fumes are an ever-present threat within the mine. Should you feel you've been affected, report at once to the infirmary. Workers' Weekly Wisdom. Our workers are our greatest resource. Imperial Army, Officiary of Resources. Excellent. Okay, so these two gates are blue. No, this gate and this gate, they're both blue. You see how they've got like that kind of blue fencing on them? So those are blue, and if we hit the switchboard, it'll open up these two, which are slightly red. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's go this way since the gate's already open. One thing I stumbled into while looking at a couple of guides for this game is that apparently the Lusu mines, we're going to come back there at some point because there's an area in that mine that's actually like... These things weak to anything? I have no idea. Fran, does she have like a... Can we hit them with something? Wind damage to everything. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, this is multiple species of bats. Do that one more time. There we go. I think we can still get the bat chain regardless of what we kill here. Yeah. So okay, I forgot. The chain system isn't the specific creature, it's what like archetype of creature it is. So if you're fighting multiple types of you're fighting and killing multiple different types of bat, that's fine as long as you don't kill a whole ass different animal, I guess, or creature or monster of some other variety. A lot of swords in the party right now. Although, you know, it's Final Fantasy. I guess that's to be expected. I do really appreciate that in this game in particular, it's just very open about what weapons characters use. Because normally in, like, I think, because this is Final Fantasy XII. Final Fantasy XI was an MMO that didn't go so hot. So, like, last mainline Final Fantasy, that was like an actual... JRPG, I guess, was Final Fantasy X, and that one had a more traditional structure. Kind of, it was actually Final Fantasy X was surprisingly similar to Final Fantasy IX in a couple ways. But like every person you pick up in that game everyone in the party uses a different weapon, and they are hard locked onto that weapon. Like Titus uses swords, Wakka uses fucking balls, Lulu uses dolls, yada yada yada. And so Final Fantasy XII was kind of an interesting, like, I guess it's part of how it borrowed a lot, like some of its concepts from MMOs. Like anyone can use any weapon and kind of become anything. Like the Zodiac system kind of encouraged you to specialize them and put them into different like specialties. But in original Final Fantasy XII, you could kind of just do whatever. Just level up whatever you want, make them into whatever you want. That's become pretty popular in RPGs it's been pretty popular in RPGs for a while now. Like past decade, I'd say. Because like that was one thing that made Elder Scrolls kind of interesting. Because not only were you like you weren't controlling like Elder Scrolls was an interesting type of RPG because it like Fallout had You're just playing as one character, just like you're playing as the only character. Maybe you could pick up a companion or two, but for the most part you were alone. And you leveled up solely your character, essentially. So as a result, it's a lot more necessary that you it's a lot more necessary that you kind of have access to everything. Because if you don't, if your character don't have access to like a game mechanic, then you're never gonna see it, obviously, because there's only one character and that's you. Whereas in a lot of RPGs leading up to that, it was more about what the fuck. Whereas in a lot of RPGs outside of that, it was more about kind of all your characters had a niche that they were supposed to fit into, and you were going to fit them into that. Like maybe you had one main character that would like be something, but they would be kind of like you'd still have to pick a class for them, because like in the traditional CRPGs that were based off of things like Dungeons and Dragons, you still had to pick a class, and that class still determined what weapons you had available, what skills you had available, like what you were capable of doing, essentially. And now things are a lot looser than they used to be, I think. Or at least that's my impression. I'm definitely not part of the oldest generation of gamers out there, so maybe there's some of the progress from how RPGs used to be to how RPGs are now that's I've missed. Because I've noticed that there is a difference between people who are used to older games and people who like people who grew up with like Nintendo 64s or like that whole, or maybe like the generation of consoles before that. People who grew up with like consoles that were in color, not maybe not in color, but like consoles that had that were just a little bit closer to modern. Because my first the generation I started with was like the Game Boy Color and the GameCube, I think, were the first things that I got my hands on. And so as a result, I completely missed. I had no exposure to Mario 64. Didn't really like. The first 3D Mario I played was Sunshine, and I definitely did not get into any PC games until pretty late. First computer game I ever played was Sims 3, I think. So whenever I hear, I notice that there is a distinct difference between games I like and games I would prioritize between me and like, say, like the best for Castle Super Beast. Sorry, that's what they're called now. Castle Super Beast and Donkey. There's a severe difference between me and Donkey, just because it's like I don't play platformers at all, and he grew up with platformers. Platformers were like a big deal to him. So it's a little interesting kind of seeing the difference between me and him opinion-wise. Like the main game genre I play are shooters, and I feel like for a while shooters have been pretty dominant in like people's in people's imaginations. Not in people's imaginations, but I feel like a lot of people can agree that like shooters are a pretty big deal right now, and obviously they didn't always used to be. It kind of took a while for them to develop as a genre. Like Doom was really popular, obviously, but you had like Doom, you had GoldenEye, you had Wolfenstein, and like what else, you know? But they've really grown and become huge recently. Balthier's the only one that needs to level up to 25, and then after that I can switch people around a bit more again. No. Keep in mind, I talk out of my ass the whole time I played stream, so if I'm completely off, I'm excused. I have chosen to excuse myself. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's a dead end? We were already here, okay. Also very bad I'm very bad at remembering where I've already gone whenever I'm in. You might have seen if you tuned into yesterday's Far Cry 5 stream, you might notice that I reopened the same door multiple times trying to figure out where someone was in a big house. Which I found immensely frustrating. One thing I think I mentioned, but like, one thing I mentioned, but still definitely think is true, is that whenever I play games like these and then I talk, my brain just is not. I'm focused more on like conversing and trying to make sure I'm understandable to humans, and as a result, I don't really know what I'm saying sometimes. I don't really know what's going on in the game, and I don't really know what I'm saying because my brain's trying to split between the two, and nothing's getting accomplished properly. So now I understand more than before, like, why so many streamers tend to just kind of miss shit when they're playing a game. I don't know. I'm definitely more forgiving now than I used to be. I noticed that. I also noticed something when I was watching people play shooters, and it's that when you're in the driver's seat and you're trying to aim your gun and then like hit things, that's a lot harder. That's a lot harder than it looks. It's one of those things where like if you watch someone like aim and try to shoot a gun and then they miss someone, you're like, why didn't you move it like a little bit to the left? And then when I watch myself play, I also think the same thing, and then I realize I'm not better. I'm not better than anyone that plays those games. Found something called a bone crusher. What is that? Is that an item? Is it an ability? Oh, bone crusher. Consume HP to reduce the HP of one foe to 0. You just fucking squish them? Is that what you do? Ew. This little side passage we took is going a lot further than I thought it would. We might be in these mines for a little while. Might be a little over-leveled. Does anyone know any... No one here really knows Scan, so... I'm kind of curious what level these guys are. If I swap Ashe out for Vaughn, he'll be able to tell me. I've also got the main gauche, which is it's actually a straight dagger. Oh, looks like one of those French parrying daggers, like something that would accompany like a rapier. That's a dinosaur. It's confused. That's a cool. One thing that's really interesting about Final Fantasy XII's system is that it, like because all the enemies just kind of exist simultaneously in the world with everything else, it makes a good system. It makes an actually really cool system where enemies actually interact with each other more. Because in old Final Fantasies, obviously the way they did combat encounters is that it was just random. There's a term people use. It's just random encounters where when you're running around in the overworld, the game will just randomly, based off of RNG, just disrupt you and say, "All right, you're in a fight now." Like there'd be some screen transition, and then you get dumped in like a separate, instance where you would have to then fight enemies. Thunderbug, neat. Oh, Balthier's got a thunder spear, so he shouldn't be attacking. Hang on. Do not attack, Balthier. We'll just have him run in circles. Pull him out for Bosch. Hey, I forgot that we gave Balthier a lightning spear, and he was going to supercharge these mimics. I gotta say, it's really interesting that they made mimics spiders in this game, and also made them little like lightning bugs. Just because it's like normally when people design mimics, they design them more to be more amorphous, I guess, or at least shaped like the thing that they usually pretend to be. Like, you know how the classic mimic is just like a fucking treasure chest with teeth. Like, it would either be that or something that can just kind of mold itself into whatever shape it needs to be. But in this game, no, they're very highly specialized spiders that only pretend to be this particular type of pot, so that people can try to get, so that they can get people when they try to open them. A little goofy. Okay, but as I was saying, Final Fantasy X, random encounters. So every encounter would be its own contained thing in its own little contained world. So as a result, they didn't simultaneously exist with everything else that was happening, like in the game. But when they switched to this system, which is a lot more like an MMO, enemies actually do interact and like can like attack each other, and also you can run into situations where like maybe like a bunny or maybe like an allied character like one of the guys from Jahara like walks up and then assists you with the fight or something like that. That's neat. There's more opportunities for things like that to happen. And then Final Fantasy XIII came around and it wasn't the same. Final Fantasy XIII had a weird mix between the two where it was like, is this guy dead? This guy's dead. 13 had a mix between the two where instead of it being like random encounters or like open world encounters like in this game, the encounters are open world, but they are determined by... Can I like get Fran like a license real quick for... Hang on, let me check something. She's a red battle mage, right? What if we... Is there black magic anywhere around? No, wait. I've accidentally swapped over to Balthier. Hang on. Triangle. That's the right button. Sorry, I've been playing Final Fantasy XII recently. Not 12, 10 recently, and I'm kind of all over the place. There it is. Guys weak to fire? They are. Excellent. Okay, yeah, we should be fine. This is a lot of fucking jelly. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm like focused on this right now because it's like an imminent disaster and I kind of forgot this happened. Anywho, in Final Fantasy XIII, there were like enemies in the overworld, but when you touched them, they dragged you into like an alternate fight dimension, essentially. I think that's probably a good way to put it. It's a fight dimension where the area where fights happen. Okay, there we go. 15 chain, goddamn. Final Fantasy XIII was such a weird ass game because like you didn't really play it. The game kind of played itself half the time. Like when you ran into a random encounter, you would just kind of hit it and then go, all right, we're doing you just kind of like press the confirm button on auto battle, and then the game would just kind of do it for you. It's like if you knew what the enemy's weaknesses are, your characters would just kind of automatically do whatever spell they needed to. And as I said before, you just kind of fired the spells off like bullets. I don't think the game had mana. You just kind of would like lightning would, there would be no casting period or any like animation for it. Lightning would just kind of like slide her arm. She would swing her arm, and then a little mini fireball would come out. And that was her casting fire. That was all of it. And then she'd do it like 3 times in a row, like pew pew pew, and she was shooting a gun. Really strange game. I didn't like it. Hilariously enough, when I played Final Fantasy XIII, I played right up until you got away from the floating city place and ended up on the actual planet Lassie or whatever they called it. And the funny thing about that was, it like the funny thing about that was that it would you would get there and you would get there and that's when the game opens up. Like that's when the game's actually like open and you can go to multiple different places. But that's right when I stopped playing. So I like kept hearing people are like, oh yeah, it gets good after you get that part, but you have to get past that part. And I realized that I went through the hard part and then stopped playing the game right when it was supposed to get like right when it was supposed to get good. Oops. These are bugs again, right? Yeah. Let's kill them. You guys have a lot of defense. Okay, there we go. The only Final Fantasies I've played are like Final Fantasy III on the DS, Final Fantasy IX for a while, Final Fantasy X for a while, Final Fantasy XII. After I started this playthrough of Final Fantasy XII on stream, I decided to pick up Final Fantasy X again. And I've been making my way through that just on my own, because I just felt like doing it on my own. I just got past the Thunder Plains, which are infamous for... There's a bunch of special weapons in Final Fantasy X, where you... Like, if you get them, they have like all these super extra bonus powers that allow your characters to break past 9,999 damage, which is like the limit. But in order to get them, you have to do some crazy shit. Some of them are easier than others, but the worst one of all is Fran, like, not Fran, fucking Lulu. Lulu's like your resident black mage in that game. Her celestial weapon requires you to dodge 200 fucking bolts of lightning.
The stench of fumes. The stench of power. What's wrong with her?
Jeez, hi.
Stay away! Power-needy hume.
He's been on the stuff. Went back in the mine and hit a fat. God damn, she is zipping. You see that shit? It's like she was ice skating. Alright, for some reason there's a gate crystal here. I'm not sure why. Staging shaft. Cool. I think we actually have a big fight right now. I think that's why they put that thing there. Jesus, it's so funny watching her move like that. Oh yeah, we have to fight this motherfucker. They just shoved a dragon in here. You know what this reminds me of? Like the fact that it's in a mine and it's this big four-legged thing. You know, who is it? You know that Starfell beast or whatever it's called in Elden Ring? It reminds me a lot of that. Alright, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, 200 damage, I think we're okay. Vaughn keeps blocking shit, so we should be okay. This thing weak to anything? I have no goddamn idea. Fran, cast something. Slow maybe? Let's see if we see a... Okay, it just said miss. We can try that again. I'm disabled. I don't know how to use my hands. Oh no. I guess we can swap Ashe out for Balthier, I guess then. Oh, we actually managed to slow him. Cool. Arcane Dark, nah. Black, Fire, I guess? That does some amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's a shame we don't have haste. Applies disable? No. Reflect? No. Dark? Do you know how much damage Dark does? I didn't see anything particularly large in there, so maybe not. Oh, we could have friends try stealing. Couldn't steal from Tiamat. Try again. I want to see if it's got anything good. Stole a high put. Whatever, I'll take it. There we go. We just need to smack this thing for a while. Not doing that much damage. Someone got a crit for like 1,200 damage. That's nuts. Ouch! Okay. Never mind. Can we, wait, do we have, wait, what do you use to remove sap? You can, I know how to inflict sap. How do you remove sap? I don't think I can do that. Our health's just gonna be going down. Okay. Hang on, do I know do I know regen or anything like that? No. Hang on. Can we buy a license for that real quick? There's regen. It's over there. Hang on. No good. How about Vaughn? Can we get it for Vaughn? He's a white mage. He should be able to. Take a look. See, there's regen. Maybe that'll help. Get him a Suna as well. Vaughn. Let's see if he knows how to do this. Just removes harmful status effects. Does that work? It does work. Okay. Please fix my man here. Just a slight mid-combat adjustment. We're okay. Balthier's not doing any damage, actually. Kind of funny. Oh, this thing has reflect on it now. Ooh, okay. Hang on. It is no longer reflected. Cool. I like that we finally hit the point in the game where we can actually like we know enough magic to actually play around a bit. I really can't wait till we start getting to techniques that actually like break things and reduce certain stats on enemies, because that'll make things easier. This thing is just really not taking any damage. It's kind of annoying. Hang on. We cast. We cast Dispel on this thing. Remove reflect. Just have Frog hit it with some damage, like in the little interim. Yeah, okay. This thing's just gonna keep spamming reflect. We're just gonna have to bash on it. It just randomly acquired more, like, it doesn't even have protect on it. Just kind of randomly acquired more defense now that it's low on health. Just smack the thing. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. I don't know how they kept this guy fed here, but whatever. He's dead now. Doesn't have to worry about food anymore. Oh, it's tragic that Balthier doesn't have a spear thing. I know Vaughn definitely has one for for daggers. At least I'm pretty sure he does. Oh, whatever. I always found it annoying whenever it's not a thing, regrettably, but I kind of wish there was a video out there where it just had all the animations the characters made with all their weapons, in the like the little congratulations things. There's the rock I'm looking for. There it goes. It's a ghost. On the come down.
That thing
Can't zip that hard without
was it?
consequences for your body. Gotta take a nap to take it to, you know, take the edge off. I don't know anything about drugs. Man, making jokes is hard. Radical. We have saved the bunny. It'd be hilarious if we went through all this effort and brought her back, and then the people of the village were like, "Eh, we appreciate it, but we still want you to fuck off."
The village took small heed of them. So long as the wood herself is safe from harm, the Viera give little care to goings on beyond her. But in me, an uneasiness stirred. I had to discover why they had come.
So you came here hoping to find something out and got yourself caught. You're as foolhardy as your sister.
They took me then and set close beside me a stone. They said its mist would be drawn into me, that the Viera well suited this end. I saw the light coming from the stone, and then...
We have seen this. On Leviathan, the mist released from the Dawn Shard drove me too into such a rage. She was taken not by the Dawn Shard.
Manufactured nethicite. Then that means... Penella, the stone I gave you, do you still carry it with you?
Sure, it's right here.
Excuse me, rude.
This is a thing more dangerous again than I had imagined. I should never have given it to you. Forgive me, I didn't know.
Hey, Penella's responsible. I gave her a crossbow. She can defend it.
And even if it is dangerous, on Leviathan it kept us safe.
There is a place for all things, even danger such as this.
I hope you're right about that.
Totally forgot Vaughn was here. Again. For some reason, the cutscenes in the village are all shit. I don't know what the deal is.
I heard the wood's whispers. Take it. Lente's tear is a permission. Pass through the wood and leave. To other places go.
Okay, they told me to fuck off, but they told me to fuck off in the direction I was going already, so I'm cool with it.
I saw it when I left the village. Evilise is changing. How can the Viera stand and do nothing at all?
Evilise is for the Humes. The wood alone is for us.
But that is wrong. How can we just hide
One thing
from
I
the
think is
trees
interesting
when
is that
all the
Evilise
world
is a...
outside all
I mentioned
alone?
before, Evilise is a persistent
I
setting
too wish
across
to live
multiple Final
freely.
Fantasy games.
To leave
It
this
comes
wood.
back in the Final Fantasy
not do
Tactics
this.
games, and technically, Humes
I
back the
must
fuck up.
remain away from the Humes.
But it
Stay
kind of
with the
Evilise kind
wood.
of sticks around through the
together
Final
with the
Fantasy
wood.
Tactics games, and
This
in
is your
the
way.
like Final Fantasy XII actually predates
My
like all
sister
the
no
Tactics
longer
games,
of
so
you.
like it gets Evilise gets less magical as time goes on. I think
I have
is how it works, which
discarded
is why they
wood in
don't
the
have the
village.
same kind of technology that
I
they
won
have
my
in
freedom.
in the
My past
tactics
has
games
been
as they
cut
do
away
in
forever.
Final Fantasy XII, and that ends with Final Fantasy
No
Tactics, like
longer
the
can my
original one with
ears hear the
Ramza,
green
like in
word.
that area where they've gone full like medieval
The
fantasy.
solitude you want, Mieren?
Like they're speaking Shakespearean
Sister.
English. There's a bunch of
No, Mieren.
there's like they're all
Only
it's all
one
sword
sister
and
remains
board
to you now.
and
You
humans.
must
It's
forget
they're
my
all humans.
existence.
Everyone in Final Fantasy Tactics is a human. So I guess the Viera just kind of permanently fucked off at some point in Evilisa's history.
I am sorry to make you do this.
It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like the reverse of what happened
She
in like the
goes
Shadowrun
against the
series,
laws of
because
the
in
wood.
Shadowrun's like a
I
cyberpunk
threw
fantasy
down these
fusion
laws.
game,
It is better that I do this.
and
Better
what
I
happened
than
in
one who
that
must
one is that
uphold
like
these laws
magic
herself.
just kind of reappeared in on Earth at some point, and then humans just started giving birth to like non-human or like other races that aren't quite entirely like some woman somewhere
have a
just gives birth
request.
to a troll. And that's that's how it worked in
Listen to the wood's
Shadowrun.
voice for me. I fear she hates.
I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees. The trees say, fuck off.
The wood longs for you, for the child gone from under her boughs.
A pleasant lie, that.
Be cautious.
Tree
The
said,
wood is
no,
jealous
sorry,
of
I
the
can't come.
humans who have taken you.
Haven't moved in centuries, don't plan to
I am a stand
anytime
now.
soon.
Am I not? Goodbye, sister.
Alright, I think that's the end of Fran's little subplot. So I think that's all the Viera we're getting. That's another reason why I kind of wish we had more non-Humes in the party, just because it's like, you know, maybe we could have gotten a little bit more context for some of the other groups of people in Ivalice, whereas, nope, it's all Humes and Playboy bunnies. That's it. That's all we care about. We know what the gamers want. You know what we're doing, everybody. We're back at it, selling all of our shit and staring at screens and numbers. Why does yellow liquid sell for so much? An ever-frothing sulfurous liquid corrosive enough to melt metal into a plume of oily smoke. Exposure to air causes its distinctive coloration to fade. So it's like Mountain Dew. No wonder. Matching reds, eye openers, arrows of light. Back at it again with the money moves. Contains one quiver of arrows, each with an oil-soaked cloth wrapped about its point, and one longbow. Flaming arrows might not be bad. Probably gotta sell the bow though, because that's like a basic bow. That's not we don't need that. I'm beyond that. Color's vestment, don't need it. Bangle. Eh. I could honestly probably like dump the double license points thing on like multiple different people, and then just kind of go, hey. There you go. You're gonna be you're gonna be able to do everything. You're gonna be the most licensed man on the planet if you just kill enough monsters. Ugh. Sorry, I'm like really stiff today. What did I say? I spoke with the Viera Elder about running my shop here. I was a little frightened at first, but she seems reasonable enough. But was she was wait, so she gave us a lot of shit. She gave us a lot of shit about about being oh yeah, no Humes and no, we don't allow Humes. You're not allowed here in the village. But this fucking random Moogle with all of his stuff is just like, hey, can I set up a shop here? And she's like, sure. Racist. All right, so now that we've got the tier, we can go where we're supposed to. We've got two. Let's go. I think we're supposed to go east, which means I'm going to go south. We can like, oh yeah, we can pass through those now because we got the thing from the bunnies. I just find it funny that these things are called Marlboros. Like they're named after cigarettes because their principal move is bad breath. It just makes too much sense. One thing I was surprised by when I was younger is that I actually do have a family member that smokes. And he would kind of go out of the, he would kind of leave the house and then go and smoke for a little while whenever I saw him. And one thing that always surprised me is just how well that smoke, like the smell, sticks to people's clothes. Just because it was like even if he didn't say I'm gonna go out to smoke, you could always tell. Just because he'd come back and the whole room would immediately smell like cigarette smoke for a little bit. And for some reason when I was a kid, I didn't totally hate the smell, but I can understand why, like, you ever see those pictures of cigarette lounges in, like, the past where it used to be, because it used to be a lot more cool to just kind of hang around in a closed room and then, like, just smoke for a while, and then, like, seeing all the smoke cloying in there, it seems fucking awful. Just like, it doesn't seem very comfortable at all. Because, like, smelling smoke on a person is one thing, but smelling smoke on a, like, in a room and having it, like, fill your lungs to just be the only thing that you can smell, that's something entirely different. That's an issue. Oh my god, more battle lore. Oh, right, we can choose Balthier the fuck up, because we've got all of these battle lores around here. We can just collect all of them. Oh, yeah, Time Magic 3, that'll be nice. We actually got a surprising amount of licenses. Like, we're not done with the boards yet or anything, but we're making good progress. We've killed a lot of things. Smelling smoke on everything is pretty rough, absolutely. Like, I can understand why people don't always... Oh, by the way, but one thing I did when I was, real quick, one thing I did while I was grinding, before I started streaming, I actually picked up Intercession, which is a mist ability. The way this game works is, so... Final Fantasies, one thing that they like to have is give characters, like, a big fucking, like, a big move. Like, a big, like, fuck you, I'm gonna dump all of this damage on your ass, like, all at once kind of move. In Final Fantasy X, they were called overdrives, and most of the Final Fantasies beforehand, they were called limit breaks. In this game, they're called mist, or, like, they're called quickenings, because they're mist abilities. And, as you can see, below Penelo's name here, like right next to me, in the bottom right of this section of the screen, you see that little, like, orange bar? What that means is that Penelo has a mist charge, which means that she can use a mist ability. So if we go over to her, she's got mist, and then she can use a quickening, and then she can cast intercession. And what it does is that she just kind of blasts something with a lot of damage. That's it. That's what mist is. You just kind of you take all the enemies in front of you and you blast them. And if you have multiple characters that all have mist abilities, you can combo together. You can combo the moves together, and then like maybe get like a thing going on. It's like a little. It's like a little thing where you can get all the you can get them to chain them together, and then sometimes if you chain them together, you can pick up a mischarge while you're in the middle of chaining them together, and that lets characters like reuse mischarges so that you can do more and more and more if you're lucky and fast enough. So it's a fun little like mini game thing that allows you to blast something with a lot of damage if you just want to get like a boss fight over with or something like that. One thing with Mist, though, is that it actually uses up MP. I'm pretty sure it uses up, like, a chunk of your MP when you use it. So if you use up all of your Mist charges, it uses up a fat load of magic. Anyway, I will be right back. I need to go to the bathroom. You know, while I was on the toilet, I actually kind of thought of something. There was a... What was it? There was a game. So you know how... So in this game, health is HP and magic is MP, right? So a lot of RPGs have that, where health is HP, so health points. As in points that measure how much health your character has. That makes sense. And MP is magic points or mana points, so some measurement as to how much magic your character can cast, right? That makes sense. I remember the first time I ran into HP was Pokemon, and I remember like every kid would play Pokemon. And then I remember one time I was playing, like when I was playing it, I was talking to another kid. And then I mentioned to the kid that HP was health points, right? Because, like, or at least I thought that's what it meant. Because, like, no one ever explained in, like, because the first Pokemon I played, I think, was Fire Red, like, the remake of Red. And I don't think anyone... Or I didn't run into the part of the game where people explain shit to you. I think I might have skipped it on accident or something like that. But one thing I remember from that was, I remember, like, basically deducing, because I'm just that smart, obviously, that, like, HP probably meant health points, and then I was like, okay, so HP means health points, and then, like, I don't think I ran into MP until later, because that's when I started playing Final Fantasy. But I was talking to some kid, and I was telling him, it's like, oh yeah, so HP means health points, and this fucking dumbass child tried to convince me that HP meant horsepower. Like, yeah, that's the measurement of the Pokemon's horsepower. Charmander has 25 horsepower. That's what he tried. That's what he legitimately thought. And I don't know if that was like a joke he was trying to tell me, or if that was some in-joke that he heard that other kids were trying to, like, spread to each other, but it was fucking... Yeah, excuse me. Horsepower. And the funny thing about it is that, like... See, like, as an adult, when I hear horsepower, I'm like, no, that's... First of all, that's stupid. Because every other RPG uses health points, and it stands to reason that that's why everyone calls it. That's why everyone calls it health points. And then second of all, horsepower's for fucking cars. Like, it's to measure how fast something goes or how much force something generates. It doesn't, or like, yeah, no, how fast something goes, because it's compared to a fucking horse, not how much health something has. Like, how many hits something could take. But, like, as a kid, my rationale was, no, it can't be horsepower. Not all of the Pokemon are horses. That doesn't make sense. Oh my god. You know, I used to think as a kid I might have thought it was kind of rational, but the fact that I still remember it now indicates that I probably thought it was stupid back then and just logged it into my memory. Hey, how much horsepower does that Pikachu have? We got what's its APR? Yeah, could you imagine going to a dealership and being sold a Pokemon? Oh, can you afford, like, I don't know if I can afford the insurance for this. I don't know if I can afford the insurance for the Squirtle. How much is it? How much is he gonna cost in maintenance? Did I get a good trade on him? I got this old treacle. Do you think I can think I can trade him in for something at a good rate? It's incredibly annoying that these hellhounds keep immediately going for Pinello. HP stands for happiness power. Ear. Is that why the Pokemon faints when it goes down to 0? They just get too depressed to keep going. Fucking horsepower. Oh my god. You know, kids are stupid, but kids are like varying amounts of stupid. like some kids have a little bit of intuition and they can figure some things out. Some kids are just some kids are just extremely good. Like most kids are gullible, some kids are extremely gullible. Like they just don't think like a second time when they're told something. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like that sometimes. So it's not like I'm taking like an I'm better than you sort of approach to this, but it's still fucking hilarious when you run into like kids that have a disagreement on something and then like one's totally right and the other one's totally wrong, but they don't know how to like navigate that sort of situation, so they just kind of get mad at each other. Especially when one of them's like, "Oh yeah, my dad told me this," and then their dad's fucking wrong. God. It's so stupid, but so funny. Oh yeah, another thing about quickenings in this game. When you acquire a quickening on the license board, sometimes it's necessary for you to access like another thing past here, and that means it's important to kind of parse through which quickenings you want to get for which characters. Because once you pick up 3, the rest get cut off. So Pinello, her next quickening is gonna be called Evanescence, because she got into emo when she was younger, so she's gonna be we'll get around to up here so we can get a little bit more health for her. These licenses are starting to get expensive. Jesus. Full Faith, Karaja, Red Spiral. He already has that battle lore and that health. But we can get Vaughn a lot of magic lore if we really want him to. Which does make sense. That is a lot of battle lores we actually picked up for him, looking back at it. Oh, okay. We should save up for that for Vaughn. Save up to like 125 so we can unlock that little section there. I used to be like, whenever I look at something in a game like this, and then I take note of it, and I'm like, okay, I should look at this and go like, okay, I need to go. Like whenever I look at something and I'm like, I need to pick that up at some point for a thing that's gonna happen later. I used to be like, okay, I'll save it for when I can grab it at a more optimal time or for when it's more convenient. Now I'm just like, no, I should just grab it now because I'm totally going to stop playing this game for a week and I'm gonna forget during that week. So I should just do it now while I'm thinking about it. Because there's no guarantees I'll remember when it's actually, like, a proper time for me to grab it or whatever. I've learned that, like, because of how my brain works, I should just do things when they come to me rather than, like... Because, like, if I think, okay, I should probably do that now, I should probably do that at some point, that means I should just do it now. This is a big deal for chores. I will procrastinate if I give myself the opportunity to, so I need to not do that. Why are these hellhounds so fucking tough? 4 hits. Thanks. That's really great. I appreciate that. Good thing we got 43 fucking Phoenix downs.
Not like this.
These hellhounds are annoying. They keep targeting the weak people in my party like they actually know how to play the game or something. It's very upsetting. Who the fuck prioritizes? Not supposed to do that. Only I'm supposed to think here. I hope I'm getting good XP for this, because otherwise there's like no point. I'm struggling here for nothing. You know, magic's becoming more important. I should probably focus on getting magic lures for Fran and Pinello, just to make sure they actually hit hard when I need them to. Oh, hell yeah. We've got leopards? Oh no, those are squirrels. Okay. Sure, I don't know what the fuck that is, but sure. Poodle? Is that supposed to be French or something? Poodle? Oh, everybody's healing today. Who taught the cats how to do magic? This is annoying. Now Larsa's still got a gambit to use like a base level potion when he's low on health. It seems kind of inefficient, considering the potion only heals like 180, and I'm pretty sure most of the things we're running into hit for like 400 now. How do we make the cats more interesting looking? Let's give them gigantic fucking like whisker tentacles. Just some fucking, yeah, give them the octopus heads too. Hell yeah. This is what I see when I look at a cat, obviously. Giant bulbous fucking like hump on the head. You ever see those like that collection, those collections of paintings where they have cats, but the cats have been drawn by someone who's clearly trying to draw a cat from memory and then was really blanking on some of the details, so they end up with something a little weird looking. A Dinosaur. Oh dear, look at that. It's got fins. I don't know why. Why is the name in yellow? Okay, whatever. I guess it was like a mini-boss, maybe? Didn't seem that tough. Maybe I should have poached it. Oh, whatever. I don't see any chests over there, so I'm not gonna bother. Oh boy. So what's down here? Is this the correct direction? We need to go to Mount Amises, whatever the fuck. This? What is this? The Feywood. I don't think this is where we're supposed to be going. Ouch. Bad start. Gosh. Why don't you use Libra real quick? Level 40. Yeah, we should leave. We should not be here. Not the place to be. Noted. $66 skill, I'm rich. What levels are we working with over here? Oh, level 37. No wonder I'm having trouble with these guys. They're fucking way ahead of me. I'm just in the total ass wrong place. Okay. Ouch. Okay, that explains a lot of what I'm dealing with right now. But hey, they give a lot of EXP, so we've got that going for us at least. Once we're back to where I'm actually supposed to be level wise, look out! I'm gonna be great. I guess this goes to show how much having like a guest that knows a thing or two matters. Because like if I didn't have Larsa casting Cura automatically, I'd be in trouble. What are Larsa's? Okay. Oh, I get it. That's ally less than 50. Okay, well, we'll go with that. That makes sense for Cura. There's one thing RPGs have taught me, it's to stay in my lane. Because exploring and trying to go somewhere where I'm not supposed to be will get me horribly killed. Like, no chance. You'll just fight something with bigger numbers than you. And as we've established, bigger numbers is always superior to anything else. Tactics will not save me here. Alright, let's get back to where I'm supposed to be. Head east. To the Promised Land. These are level 39. No wonder they're kicking my fucking ass. It's only so much of my struggles so far. Jesus Christ, Lars is dead. Okay, you know what? There's too much shit here. I'm leaving. I'm getting mobbed by two, like, units of monsters, and one of them is, like, twice my level. I'm not sticking around. There we go. Nice. Okay, back to where we should be. Let's head east. There we go. We see that level 22. Much more reasonable. Back to chunking things like I should be. Man, I didn't even get any shiny loot from my little foray into territories I shouldn't have been in. It's tragic. Probably just got like 66 gil or something like that, I think is what I picked up from one of those chests. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. A red cap. Nice. I'm gonna look snazzy when I get back to town. Actually, maybe not. Thinking about it again, maybe not. Maybe I should not wear that. Right. Oh, no. Oh, these guys are just okay. I was like, are the gray Marlboros like particularly dangerous, or no? They're just grayer. We do not have an awaken thing here, so whatever. Actually, we could probably get Ashe she's got a white mage. Maybe we can get her the fancy shiny new white magics that I've got. She does not have the license for those. Okay, that's what we're investing in next. Been putting too much effort into her. Been putting too much effort into Ashe's battle capabilities, and I've been neglecting her white mage capability. Of course, she nails the slow. Oh my god. Wait, no, actually no. Was he slow before he was asleep? Oh, okay, yeah, he was. I thought for a second that Ashe somehow managed to inflict slow on him by hitting him, and I was like, of course it's when I hit a party member, it's not when I hit an enemy. Sorry, I'm just naturally inclined to assume that the odds are against me because they make me feel better when bad things happen to me. Forgive me. One thing I might do today is that I might replay the Modern Warfare 2019. Might replay that game's campaign and then record it in preparation for next week. Because I do want to take this whole review thing seriously. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for, like, one thing I've been thinking about doing for a long time is making, like, game content. Reviews were something I was always inclined towards wanting to do, but never really like put in the effort towards. So I wanna give it a shot and see what happens. Anywho, it is several years now since such as you began passing through the wood unwelcome. Some sought only to flee their pursuers, but others there were who thought to bring ruin to the wood. This wakened in Myrn a deep disquiet. That she should see this and leave the wood surprises me little. Interesting. Maybe the Viera, like, in the, I guess the future of Evilise just kind of decided to migrate out. Maybe they just kind of decided that, like, the time had come and they just needed to go. Hang on, we got new arrows for Fran. Okay, they actually go down in damage, but they give her fire element, so limited utility actually. I thought we were still rocking onion arrows and that the fiery arrows would maybe give her a little bit of extra punch, but no, it's just they're actually not as good as what she's already got. Oh, this is another boss. I think it's called the Elder Worm, I think. Man, we fought 2 dragon things in a row. That's kind of funny. Oh, no. I am trapped. Yes, Elder Worm. And we've got 2 violent tree ants here to help him. Luckily, these things aren't doing much damage. Alright, looks like we've cleared the ads. Hang on, Bosch, I need you to apply Libra. Can we... Wait, does that even work for this thing? No, it doesn't. Okay, my guess is that this thing is weak to fire. Just, you know, just assuming. 820, that's pretty good, I think. Larsa's confused, oh boy. Hang on, fuck, I needed a Cena really bad, actually. That's kind of an issue. There's a thing got for removing that. Move, confused, new kind. Oh, we got a ton of that. Please wake up. That was a big hit. Thank you, Larsa. I appreciate it. Nice work, Bosch. It's the Prince's Kiss that, yeah. Like Snow White, you know? Move sleep. I think that's the idea. Spore Fall. Yeah, I think the worm's whole deal is that it inflicts a lot of status effects. Oh god, the white. I'm blinded. Holy shit, Ashe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang on. Do we have anyone that... Shit, we don't have anyone with, like, Remedy Lord. Hang on. I'm gonna swap Pinello out for Vaughn real quick. Have Vaughn cast Asuna on Ashe. Just please fix everything she's got going on right now. Cool, that fixed nearly everything. And we'll switch. Well, I should just switch Ashe out for Fron. Someone with a little bit more punch to their magic, and then like cast Fire Red. If we go Fron with the fiery arrows, does that benefit her at all? How much damage does she do? 389? Nah, doesn't really make a difference, looks like. I don't think it has any elemental weaknesses. Yeah, she's doing the same damage as she was otherwise, so no difference. Doing good, doing good. Vaughn somehow blocked a fireball. Hey Vaughn, come here. You need to be relevant for a sec. Hey, in gameplay, he's great. Vaughn's actually got the best stats out of anyone in the game. I'm not complaining about how he functions inside of the gameplay. It's just the story in which he's completely, like, pointless. I don't think I can steal anything good from this thing. I wonder if that's like a thing in this game in general. Well, we got a fruit out of him. Ah, the light! Oh my god. Hang on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. That was a lot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's like a lot I need to worry about right now. Okay, that's what it does with the fucking, that's what the whole point of the fireball is. It just uses it on people with oil, and then it fucking kills them. Oh, hey, Anchor Chief, please fix Vaughn before he dies. Okay, still took a lot of damage, but he's alive. He's alive, we're okay. Fran's dead, but that's not a huge problem. We can fix that. Marsa, please wipe down Fran real quick. There we go. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Jesus Christ. He fucking nailed the... He nailed the, He nailed the multi-status effect fucking move on 3 people. What the hell was that? Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're alive. Lars is a little slow, but that's fine. How many times did that thing just try to attack? Fuck off. Fuck yeah, no, just die. Just die. You just tried to attack 5 times in a row. I don't care. Just leave. Become not my problem anymore, please. That was infuriating. But yeah, okay. One thing that kind of bothers me about games like this is that, like, a lot of times you'll see a situation like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, why, in order to make this boss less annoying, you need to equip, like, Bosch is just stabbing that katana straight through his hand. That is funny. Boss dragon defeated. Anywho, the funny thing about the funny thing about that boss is that it's like, oh yeah, what would have made it more convenient if I had an accessory that that prevented confuse, and then that would have been like a little bit easier. But I didn't know. How much money was that? 10. Oh, I have money. I have dollars. Holy shit. I got some fucking stocks out of killing that moss dragon. Holy shit. That thing must have been day trading. What the hell is that? I guess if all you do is just sit alone, like in a tree, maybe, you know, you download one of those fucking, you download like a market app and then just kind of fuck around. Or maybe that was like its Dragon's Horde, something like that. I mentioned Shadowrun earlier. One of the absolute funniest things about that game is that it's like, oh, how did dragons fit into the cyberpunk future? Well, naturally they became CEOs. Like they run companies, and that makes absolute perfect sense, because it's like, what did dragons do? They hoard wealth. Well, what better way to do that than to become the CEO of a company and then maintain an offshore account? It's the greatest gold hoard you could ever make. Tracks extremely well for cyberpunk. It's funny. Fucking love it. There's one of the little tips that the Shadowrunners, which is what they call the deniable agents that go out and do shady business. One thing that they do is that they one of the tips they give you is never make a deal with a dragon, because a dragon's always going to fuck you over in the end. find it extremely funny in games like these where they give you daggers and then they give you short swords. In real life, short swords were pretty short. That's why they called them short swords, believe it or not. And long swords were actually the things that people would use with 2 hands. And great swords were just hilariously, absurdly large swords that you needed special training for, I think. Like, even more so than, like, long swords. So, it's really funny when you see games where they're like, oh yeah, long swords are one-handed weapons, and that kind of fucks up the scaling on literally everything. Like, if you play like, one thing I did in Dragon Age Inquisition, one issue I have with Dragon Age, just in general, is that they have multiple classes, right? Like, you've got, the basic 3 are Mage, Rogue, and Warrior, right? And that makes sense. So, like, and they all have their own little, like, divisions that they fall into. So mages are, like, you can be a healer, or you can be a caster that does damage. Like, Rogue is like, oh yeah, you can be an archer, or you can be like a dagger, like, stabber person, like dashy stabby person. And then with Warrior, you can be a sword and shield warrior, or a great sword warrior. Now, you would think that if you picked a great sword warrior, you're going for like a bruiser, someone who does good damage, but can also take a good amount of damage and punishment. Whereas, like, sword and board would be a more traditional tank class, like maybe like a paladin style thing. But no, the way they designed that game is that I think they over-exaggerated, like, the purpose of each character. Because, like, the way it works in like D&D is that you can have a melee warrior character that does good damage, but but what you need mages for is utility. Like, they have an insane amount of utility. They can do all sorts of things that normal regular people can't, and that's extremely useful. Whereas rogues, they're extremely skilled. They do a lot. They do a fuck ton of damage. Like, in terms of raw damage, a rogue can do that very, very extremely well. And they also have, like, a lot of skills. So there's, like, outside of combat alternative things that they can do. But in, like, with, like, MMOs and games that take a lot of their mechanics from MMOs, it's a lot more, it's less, the way they boil it down to is that warriors are tanks. They are there to take damage. They are not there to deal damage. They don't do damage for shit. Nearly all of their abilities are for distracting and provoking enemies, and then like, reducing the damage they take from hits. Mages are there for damage. Mages are damage dealer, or like range damage dealers, and rogues are like melee damage dealers, because like all the utility stuff is like separate and like it's not as necessary. And then Dragon Age rolled with that interpretation. So what happens is that you'll play a warrior, and then you'll be this... I remember Dragon Age 2 frustrated the shit out of me, because you'll play this big warrior with this big fucking sword. You are swinging a sword as big as a person at an enemy, and you are doing no fucking damage, because the warriors are just there to take damage. They don't want you to deal damage as a warrior. So I would just watch Hawk in Dragon Age 2 just fucking smack this thing, and she might as well be using a Nerf sword for all I care, because she's barely hitting this. She's barely doing any damage to these enemies. And then I see this piddly little fireball just slide in from the fucking, like, side of the screen. And I was like, you boop, and then it hits the fucking enemy. That's half of their fucking health bar. So the only people that get to do damage are the mages. And then sometimes the rogues. And I thought that was really annoying. So in Dragon Age Inquisition, what I did is that I instead decided to play as a rogue because I figured that would be more fun, and I was right. And the funny thing about it is that I played as a Kunari rogue. The daggers in that game, their size scales to your character. So when you see a Kunari holding a dagger, it is the exact same size as the long swords the humans are using, which I found extremely funny. It was like, because now that it's like the same size, like the distinction doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just that this is a dagger. The game's telling you it's a dagger. Your only indication that it's a dagger is because that's what the game says it is. So it's silly. Barami says is to the northeast. Should you go south, you'll enter the rift. Take care. God's got your path. Kiltius of Mount Baramisos took us in and treat us warmly. Thanks to their aid, I'm well enough to return home now. Yeah, so there's a holy mountain with a bunch of monks, and it's also got a bunch of refugees, and that is where we are heading. Unfortunately, in order to get there, we need to go through the cold place. I think we're gonna finish off this stream the same way we did last time when we came to Osmone Plain. We're gonna go to the next area we're supposed to, the next safe little town spot. We'll do some story stuff, and then after we figure out where we're supposed to go next, we'll close it up. But first, we have to get through the Cold Mountain. Every Final Fantasy has like a Cold Mountain place. Hang on, let's configure something real quick. Can I? Graphic settings. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, okay. This is what happens when I adjust the fucking resolution of these things. Let me just fix that real quick. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. Sorry, I wanted to adjust the resolution. I don't think this should make a huge difference for you guys, but it might make the game. Yeah, the game's running a bit smoother. I was starting to. I think I'm just gonna do that from here on out, because I used to think that my solution to any encoding issues while streaming would probably just be like, if I run into a game that doesn't run so hot, I'll just use if I run into a game that doesn't run so hot, I'll just use like a second laptop for that. But my capture card has been giving me a lot of grief recently, so I'm just not gonna use it. I'm just gonna tone everything down to 1080p and then just let take some of the weight off of the computer.
Empires parade down city streets while refugees walk barefoot through the snow.
That's how it goes.
And so I sue for
Don't
peace,
you love imperialism,
to stop
Balthier?
short war and ease their suffering. My father will choose peace.
Will
Your
he?
father, yeah,
You
but
sound sure
he's
of
about to
yourself.
fucking
never
bite
know
it.
another,
What does Vayne
even
want?
your father.
I heard your dad coughing in a cutscene. Don't lie to me. He's gonna die.
This crisis would not end were I gone. The Senate hates the very fact that House Solidor exists. By necessity, we must find reason to silence them.
Necessity? Ah,
Eyes really
yes,
itchy. No.
necessity. Does that word free you, I wonder? You show no hesitation to solve matters with blood.
The sword of House Solidor cannot be left to rust in doubt. It was you, Excellency, who tempered that sword.
Is this your idea of vengeance?
It is my idea of necessity.
There's that word again.
If we do not act now, it is not only our future you imperil.
So, you would dirty your hands to keep his clean.
My hands are stained with blood. I see little reason to stay them now.
Vayne, I don't know who's doing his voice acting, but he's starting to remind me of some of the characters in Oblivion, like the way he phrases things and his accent.
House Solidor lives on.
Something about him saying, like, my hands are stained with blood just kind of reminds me of, like, what was it? Empire's blessings upon you. Like, after you, like, say goodbye to someone, something like that. I don't know, I just kind of felt like I had a flashback to, like, you know, paying for a room at an inn in the capital city in Oblivion. That game is jank as fuck, but it made a really serious impression on me when I was younger. Bone Town again. Back in the bone zone. Terrible place to be. I obtained a sturdy bone. Hell yeah. Does that sell for more than a bone fragments? Because those bone fragments were premium loot. Believe it or not. One thing I found really funny is that I was looking up how to get some of the like ultimate weapons in this game, and it's so different from Final Fantasy X. It's kind of funny because in Final Fantasy X, all of the big super mega weapons are attached to some sort of specific challenge you have to do. Like in order to get the mirror that you need in order to even get access to them in the first place, you need to do like a chocobo race, and you need to hit the checkpoints in a way that you actually have like because the way it works is that there's like a chocobo race, and then like it's like a time trial, right? So you run through and you hit the checkpoints, and then when you hit the checkpoints, the time that's elapsed, not the time that you have remaining, the time that you have already spent racing goes down. So they're like, how much time have you actually spent like racing, like after we take like all the reductions from the checkpoints, and you're supposed to hit 0 seconds. Like, you're supposed to hit, like, a net 0 on time elapsed while racing in order to get, like, the special mirror thing. And it's silly. That's not easy. Like, it takes a lot of effort, and that's not... And then, like, after that, like, they just kind of keep escalating. And then, like, you end up having to do... Like I said before, you end up having to do fucking Lulu's bullshit where you have to dodge 200 fucking lightning bolts. Like, who does that? Ah. Alright, we made it. His Grace, the Grand Kiltius Anastasis, watches over all Mount Baramises, land closest to the gods. Can you not feel your soul's burdens lifted? No, I still feel pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. You know, the look of a pilgrim nor a starving refugee. You have money? Go on, buy something. It's like, oh shit. You just kind of went, oh shit, finally, someone who isn't poor. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a lot of... We straight up just have a log. We've got lumber. Okay. Sturdy bones are worth about a little bit more than bone fragments. That's useful. New bizarre goods. What have we got? Etching reds, smelling salts, and sea. Got some high potions and new Kai sand. Hell yeah. Okay, we've got a new katana, which is useful. Bosch now does even more damage. Sledgehammer, Gladius, that's a dagger. We'll want that for Vaughn at some point. Glacial Staff, no. Demon's Bane, no. Ice Brand, sure. That on Ashe. That's the only thing we could use right now. Headband, Jujutsu D. We've got... Oh boy. Hang on. We're gonna sell that old sword. I'm gonna keep Demon's Bane for now. Just cause, I've got a feeling. Just cause, like, what is it? We've got, It's ice elemental, so I don't want to accidentally start healing things by hitting them with an ice sword. You know what you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Extra defense, diamond shield. Gonna need 2 of those. I can't afford to equip out all of my guys again. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, cool. We're gonna have to get some more licenses. We're back at it again, boys. This is the real reason I wanted to play Final Fantasy XII again. It's to repeat the experience of having to constantly buy licenses and then like grind for new equipment. This is what I really wanted. This is what I was craving. Alright, farewell shielded armor. The permanent protect was nice, but I just want more raw defense. Can we get you a new shield? Shikari. That's over here. 40 30. Hell yeah. Alright, nice. Oh, we can get more shield block for him. That would be good. Vaughn's been blocking a lot. Gotta fill those board shapes. I just like seeing the things shine up, and then I like the board gets bigger. I like seeing all the icons like pop up. It tickles my brain, tickles my lobes. Alright. Sell what we just got rid of. Yes, got a little bit more money. We should... I think the person we should prioritize equipment for would probably be Bosch, since he's going to be up in the front. Put him in a nice hat and a nice habit, a nun's habit. The brain tickling is exquisite. It's honestly the main reason most people are on the internet, just to get their brain tickled a little bit. I've seen the numbers those ASMR videos get. I know what people want. Alright, that's all the equipment we're gonna get for now. What's this guy selling? This mountain may be protected by the Kiltias, but should you venture to Paramina Rift, you'd best go prepared. What does this guy have? He's got I see. He's got fucking accessories and items and... Oh, no. He has Kiraga. Yeah, we're gonna need that. Go to Verdant Praise. Parting Glade. Okay. The enemy tents there are? There's more every day. I'm thinking to leave this place. The more people come, the less space there is for all. Dude, you don't have a shirt. I'm not sure if you'll make it through the snow. Up from here are the temple grounds. Never been myself. They don't feed you up there. Oh, I see. I wonder where these people could possibly go. Because like now they're up on a fucking mountain. Like where to next, you know? They're fleeing the Empire and the war. I'm not sure like where else they could possibly end up. Welcome to Mount Baramises, holy mountain of the Kiltias. May I ask where you come to us? On pilgrimage, I guess. I see. All are welcome here. Through these temple grounds, you will find the sanctum where the Grand Kiltias Anastasis presides. This is a goofy little place. Can't fly in Jag, so I came by ship, but the view from here was worth the long journey. I'm no believer, but this place is impressive. Oh yeah, these are the guys we're gonna be seeing a lot up here. These little fucking bunny-eared fur men with the tails. We cannot feed the refugees indefinitely, but we must give them the means to feed themselves. If only one could magic foodstuffs. Well, better teach them how to hunt or something, because I don't think we're gonna grow anything up here, as far as I can tell. There's a lot of people to talk to, but I think I'm just gonna cut through and talk to the person up there. It's kind of funny because in this game you don't get too much from talking to people unless there's like a side quest involved that you know about, or if you need to, or if you've got like a hunt you need to go for. Are there any of these I haven't done yet? Right. Still have to kill a couple things for Rabba Nostra. That's right. We've got a lot of stuff to kill once we're back in like the main parts of the map and we're done with this chunk of the story. You're in Lord Lawrence's party, yes? The Grand Kiltius awaits within. You shall find him through these doors. Yeah. And, gotta fish really long strings. Really long strings. Dude, in Final Fantasy, one thing that baffled me when I was playing Final Fantasy XIV is that they let you do this thing called sky fishing. So you just walk up to a cliff and then just hook your hook off of the edge of the cliff, and then just have the hook down in the clouds, and then just, like, you just kind of sit there and wait, and then you actually hook something. There's just fish swimming in the clouds in that universe, which is, it's fucking funny. Also, like you said, the string's really, really long. Really long. They just go down as far as you fucking want them to. It's nuts. Oh yeah, it's an old man. He'll tell us everything. Look at him, he's sleeping. Fucking Vaughn's face.
Is he sleeping?
Yeah.
No, my child.
Whoa.
I do not sleep. I dream. For reality and illusion are a duality. Two parts of a whole. Only the mirror
This guy was
of
totally sleeping.
dreams reflects what is true.
Anastasis, Your Grace.
Lay down your words.
Wish I could see that if I ever got caught, like, if I was at work or something, and then I got caught sleeping. I'm just like, no, it's like, are you sleeping on the job? No, I'm dreaming, because reality and illusion are a duality, and and when I dream, it is no more real to me than when I am awake.
Your dream of a kingdom.
And then they'll be like, well, you better dream up some results, because we pay you quite a bit of money.
Grand Kiltius, then give us your blessing. Grant the Lady Ashe her accession to the...
This is something you might reconsider.
Oh, it's the man.
Little Emperor in waiting. You called and I have come.
This motherfucker.
This is the man I wanted you to meet.
I fucking forgot about
Believe
this
it or
guy.
not, he is a member of the noble house Margrace, rulers of the Rosarian Empire.
I am but one of very, very many. Try as I might, I could not stop this war alone. Thus, I came seeking Lars's assistance.
Oh, here it comes. Ooh. And he's got an assistant to carry his fucking sunglasses.
At your service. To think I stand before the Lady Ashe, it is truly an honor.
This is the other Sid. Fucking Pinello.
After all, stunning is Dalmasca's desert bloom.
Did this guy roll out of a biker gang from Spain? No, he rolled out of a limo.
Larsa. In Rosaria, Al Cid. They dream not of war. Should empire join with empire, the way will open for a new Evilis in our time.
Grand Kiltius, you speak much of dreams, but in the real world, war is upon us.
Grand Kiltius.
That guy's gonna make a fucking... Something about his accent makes me feel like he's just gonna... like, one day he's just gonna make a movie, and it's gonna be the most self-indulgent, stupid-ass thing ever, and it's gonna get halfway panned and halfway worshipped by a whole bunch of people.
I have not come all this way to be asked to reconsider.
A word from you and the resistance would stop cold, and Rosaria's pretext for joining the war scattered off to the four winds. This was what we had hoped. Alas, circumstances change. A full 2 years have passed since your reported death. Were it to become known you are still alive, I fear it could only worsen our current situation.
Because I am powerless to help.
Nay, in fact it has little to do with you.
Then what? If Lady Ashe were to extend her hand in friendship, perhaps
I bet
could
if this
then
universe
persuade
had
the
drugs,
Emperor.
Al Cid here would be
His
personally
Excellency
familiar
will
with
solve
all of
things
them.
peacefully.
The Emperor Gramis is no more. His life was taken.
Father.
What possible cause could we have to lay hand on our Emperor? A deception and an outrage.
Oh, the Emperor died off screen. Okay.
A
viper amongst our senators?
With Chairman Gregor.
Oh, wait, but amongst our senators.
With what dignity remained him, he confessed to the poisoning and passed his own sentence.
A viper with many tails. Much of the Senate is culpable.
We had no choice but to strip the Senate of authority and assign powers of autocracy to myself until such time as order...
Spare me your lies! I see the serpent coiled here before me!
Trace, you speak too
Fucking
freely.
Vayne here is going, oh my god, my dad, he's dead. It looks like I'm gonna have to take over the Empire. Oh no.
The once great House Solidor is now reduced to myself
Don't you
and my
feel
dear
bad for
brother
me?
Larsa.
My dad just
Surely
died.
you would not
Isn't
go
that
so far.
tragic?
Vayne Solidor! As Judge Magister and upholder of the law, I hereby place you under arrest.
You misunderstand. Vayne did not make himself autocrat. It was the very Ministry of Law which you serve. Do you see it now, Drace? When you bared your sword at His Excellency, you bared your sword at the law.
You wear the mummer's motley well, Bergen.
God damn. Got the G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip there, holy shit.
Such strength. Inhuman.
He's been doping.
Zargabath, take the Alexander. You will accompany Bergen and bring Larsa back to me.
Sire.
Your Excellency, Lord Larsa was placed under my
I will
charge.
grab your face and throw you with it.
Perhaps you mistook your orders then. I can
My
see no
favorite
other
projectiles
explanation
are my
for why you were
enemies.
reporting and conjecturing on my doings to my late father.
Your Excellency.
A hound begging for scraps at the Emperor's table. Would you serve another master, hound? You may fulfill your duty as Judge Magister before us all. She has been tried and found guilty.
Your Excellency, I beg you reconsider.
Can't get over how Al Cid, and I think that guy might be his dad or something, like just look like they came straight out of a fucking like an American movie from the 80s. Are you gonna do it, bro?
I care not. Live, Gabranth. Protect the young lord. Protect Larsa.
Forgive me.
Is there... Wait, is there something going on between these two that I missed? This doesn't look right. This looks weird. Doesn't it look weird? It looks a little weird. Okay. that was a weird cutscene. Okay, whatever. Okay, Emperor died off screen. We don't know what happened. Vayne, conveniently, is the one that got selected to take over total control over the Empire. So now he's the Emperor. He's the big main guy in charge. We're down one judge.
Let us suppose you approach the Empire with a peaceful resolution.
Their helmets were so big, and now they will
The
never
late
have large
Emperor
helmet tied
Granis would
together
have
again.
lent you
Very
his ear,
tragic.
that much
See,
is
that's what
certain.
happens when you let your
But
face
we
get
are dealing
exposed.
with
If she had a
Vayne
helmet on, when the
Solidor.
guy went to grab her, he could have
Should the
just
princess
taken it
return,
right off
he
instead.
would claim her an
And they wouldn't have had
imposter.
leverage, but no, she
Or
took the
attempt
helmet
the
off so he could
resistance
grab her
into
by her
battle.
face.
Vayne wants
Should have
this
seen that one
war,
coming.
That much is certain. As our ill luck would have it, the man is a military genius.
The dreams have told me thus. To reveal yourself would imperil us all. I see war, and Vayne's name writ bold on history's page.
Arcadia's banners fly high. They are making ready for the coming war. According to our latest reports, The Western Armada
His assistant is fucking crazy. I'm fucking. I can't handle it. She just doesn't give a shit. She's just like, does he need something from me? No. Okay.
Oh, yes,
Blank stare.
The Imperial First Fleet stands ready. They'll be underway as soon as the Odin's refit is complete. And there is more. The 2nd Caravan Expeditionary Force is being called in to replace the missing 8th.
And Vaughn in the back here is just... His expression hasn't changed. None of this is registering in his brain. It's just like, yep, these are things these people are saying.
I spoke to you of
Just gonna wait until Ashe can explain the whole thing to me, I guess.
Should I become Queen of Damascus now, powerless as I am, I can protect nothing. With a greater power at my disposal, perhaps then.
It is the Nethicite of which you dream.
The Ashe here is just like, alright, so the Empire's about to, like, full-ass invade again. I need a nuke.
Who wields power against power?
Then Gandhi here is just gonna be like, dude, nukes are bad. And Ashe is gonna be like, but I need them.
Indeed. Then you have but one choice. Seek you the other power.
This is so far behind his comprehension. He's still mad that he's not a sky pirate. That's just his state of mental being this whole time.
Paramina Rift to the still shrine of Miriam. There rests the gift he entrusted to the Grand Kiltius of his time.
I'm just standing in the back while all these people are talking about the fucking, like, you know, World War evil East, and then, like, Vaughn's in the back just like, man, I wish I was in the sky right now on my own ship. I just, like, could just go just fly around wherever I wanted. That'd be cool as fuck. Meanwhile, Ashe here is facing, like, an existential threat to her land.
And take up your sword, or your dream will remain but a dream. My dream too fades into day.
Cool, sure, whatever. He's got the sunglasses back on. Larsa has gone to the inner sanctum with the Grand Kiltius. I believe the news of the Emperor's assassination came as something of a shock. Was I overly direct, perhaps? No matter, he's in good hands now. This guy looks too cool. Like, it's distressing how cool he looks. I really needed the guy to say ciao, like, at least once, you know? Just be like, oh, ciao. It's just like, no, like, Italian doesn't exist in this universe, but he needs to say it. The hearts of humans are weak. I dare not grow close to them, lest mine grow weak as well. There's one Vieira up here, and there's a guy trying to date her. That's tragic. Where are we going now? We can get the Sword of Kings and the Still Shrine of Miriam. I guess that's our next. We're dungeon spelunking again. Alright, I think we've had a good amount of exploration. We cleared a dungeon, went back through the jungle. I got my ass beat for a little bit, and then we came back. Managed to get over to Mount Baramises, and then we got a pretty long cutscene with quite a bit of exposition in it. So I think that's a solid stream. So, once I speed up a little bit, once I get back to this gate crystal, I think I will start closing it out. Yeah, okay. I keep saying, oh yeah, maybe eventually we'll get back to it, but like, since these are like red crystals, I can just teleport back to Rabanastra and like do stuff that I I wasn't doing previously. I don't know, maybe I'll do some of that next time. Maybe I'll do a bit more story like next time I stream this game, and then like we'll have a sort of clean up, do all the hunts I've missed so far episode or whatever. But for right now, I am going to close this stream out for today. So once again, thank you very much for coming. I hope you had fun watching the stream. It was just a very standard Final Fantasy XII stream, I think. So we're gonna be back to normal with the following week. I'm not particularly busy this weekend. So I'll be coming back. I think Friday. I would normally stream on Thursday, but I want my weekday stream to be Call of Duty. Just because I want to see how far I can get with the campaign. So Friday night. Unless my plans change, in which case I'll move things around. But Friday night, I'm probably going to be playing Modern Warfare 2. Gonna play through the campaign, see how far we can get with that, and then I'm gonna, like, it's gonna be a little different from my normal streams. My main focus is gonna be trying to, like, my main focus is gonna be more trying to, like, kind of pick at the game, like, comment on what works, what doesn't, see, like, and let's see, like, what my opinion is. I don't have high expectations for Call of Duty, but, like, Modern Warfare 2019 was pretty good, despite the fact that I disagree. Okay, I'm not gonna mention the political stuff right now, but there was some stuff in Modern Warfare that, like, when I considered it outside of it just being a video game, it was kind of weird. But the game, like, as a game on its own, the game was fun and interesting and had some cool missions. So I'm curious how Modern Warfare 2 is going to be. Although I've heard some interesting things online about the campaign, but I'll reserve judgment until I get a chance to actually play it. Anywho, with that said, we'll be doing that on Friday, and then next weekend is probably going to be pretty similar to how this weekend was. We've still got at least like three, maybe four. Although, like, about 3. We've got about 3 more streams left of, I think, of Far Cry 5. So that's gonna be going for like the rest of the month, I think. And I don't know how fucking long how much longer we're gonna be playing this game. We're kind of in the mid game for Final Fantasy XII, I think. So I think we've got a good. We're gonna be playing this game for a while, especially at our current pace. So. We'll see where we end. We'll see where we end up in a little while. But Final Fantasy XII is here to stay for a good long while, I'd say, just because Final Fantasy games tend to be fucking long as hell. Anywho, with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I will see you guys again soon. And I hope you have a fantastic week until we meet again. Goodbye.